Hey guys, welcome back. It's Shelby and we are going to be doing a faux heart rock cutout heart necklace today. I should have thought of a better title for that before I started this video. But basically what we're doing is building off of the faux rock tutorial for crafting that I did before. I'll link it above if you haven't seen it. And we are going to be making a heart-shaped rock and then doing what looks like you've drilled a little heart through a heart-shaped rock, but really it's just going to be clay that you bake in the oven. So it's much easier, much lighter to wear, and a lot of fun to make. So we are going to do that today. I'll link everything you need down in the description along with my socials. As always, let's get going. We want to do a lovely little color effect for this craft. So I have the red because I want a little punch of color. If hearts are involved, I think, red is an appropriate color. We have this pale silver and then this kind of pearlized black, which is black with kind of some glitter in it. And I thought that would be cool for this. So this is what we're using. This type of clay is oven bake. It's not air dry, so it's 30 minutes at 230 degrees Fahrenheit. But yeah, let's get going. So I'm gonna be putting in a fair amount of red because, you know, it's a heart. I want it to be rather red-like, but at the same point in time, I don't want it to be like super fake looking. I'm gonna be doing a fair amount of kind of a pale silver because I want this to be kind of light and bright. And if you put in a lot of black, it's going to make it very, very dark and difficult to read the red. Do some gray. And then of course we're gonna add in some black, and what that's gonna do is just make it look, you know, more like a rock. Like a lot of rocks are dark, a lot of them are light too, but you know, not that much. I want this to look like one of those like speckled rocks. So basically what I'm gonna do is just work all of my colors separately, try to mash them up and get them soft and pliable on their own before I mix them together. I'm going to add some pale gray lint to the gray, just because it's a similar color, and just get that going. And then we will add in our other clays as we go. We're going to wrap it all, just get up the excess clay that's on your towel, and wrap it all together in the red. And then start rolling it together in like a little rosette shape. You can do these as long coils wrapped around each other. You can do them as like just mixing and mashing. You can like roll them out into little rosettes and then smush them together. It doesn't really matter. The main point is that you are smushing and not like really kneading it together. You want the differentiation of color in there, like the little color blocks. That's the most important thing. And then make sure that you get that lint mixed through. That's gonna take away some of the shine of the clay. That's what's gonna make it look more, you know, kind of outside and weathered and rock-like. The more you add, the more textured it is. If you add a lot, it's not going to mix into the clay. Unlike the fibers, if I left this and baked it, the fibers would look like that when they come out. So make sure that you mix it until it looks exactly how you want it to look. You can see like here's some red without any fibers on it, and it's very true cherry red versus here where it's like mixed and dull. Yes, it's mixed with the gray, but it's also got the fibers on there. So it does kind of create an interesting texture and just kind of changes the color a little bit and changes the way the light reflects off of it. When you touch it, the lint has a very specific texture to it. So make sure you mix it in enough that that kind of goes away and you hide it. I mean, it definitely won't feel like a rock when you're done. It's too lightweight for that, unless like maybe it's a lava rock. No one's gonna pick up a rock this size and feel this weight because clay is much lighter and think that it's a real rock. But that doesn't matter because we're making jewelry out of it, so we don't want it to be super crazy heavy. There we go. So you can see when you pull it apart, the fibers are still in there, not super mixed up yet. So we're just gonna keep smashing and pressing until it is mixed up, and then you'll notice once it is that it'll stop breaking so much and it'll start to feel more like just a drier version of the clay that you started with. The red and black are the soft version of the clay, just on the box it's branded that way. They are definitely softer and easier to work with, more malleable just from the start than the gray I'm using. That's an effect gray. It's got some silver sparkle in there, but you could see when I started mixing that one that it was much more crumbly to begin with. Definitely wasn't super easy to move around and manipulate. So we want to make it all kind of soft and easy to work with. So this I kind of like. This is a neat marbled look. It's very textured. This obviously isn't great, so we need to work a little bit on the back. Even just smushing it together helps. And we're gonna flatten this out and make ourselves a heart pendant. First things first, make it a realistic rock shape. So rocks are not symmetrical. I do want it relatively flat because I want it laying against my neck, but you know, if it's a perfect oval, yeah, nothing says dead giveaway like perfect symmetry in nature, especially in rocks. There we go, so you can actually like pinch one side down a little bit to create part of a flat mark, part of an edge, almost like a little triangle in there, then flatten it down. You can push it onto the paper towel to get some texture, get a little bit of the extra gray that's on there, that's fine. We'll do that, we'll get some speckling and then we'll kind of rub it and work it in a little bit, drag it across there, make it look kind of cool. Smush that together. So it's gonna sit either like this or like this. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. Press it in, kind of make almost like its own little heart shape, but again, not symmetrical. Rocks aren't symmetrical, there's no way. Just kind of make it like a heart that's been stepped on almost. Basically, the idea you're going for is if a child picked up and says, look, this rock looks like a heart, and you can kind of squint and be like, oh yeah, I see it. But say if it was like this on the ground, you wouldn't look at it and say it was a heart, but like this, and be like, okay, yeah, I could see that being a heart, especially with the red in there, and especially since we're about to cut a heart into it. So this is pretty thick. The back definitely doesn't look like a heart, so I'm gonna work on that a little bit with my fingers to show it a little bit of attention, make it look a little bit rock-like. There we go, so that's the back. Now the front got smushed. It's okay, as long as you're not like kneading the clay together more and more at this point, you're not going to change the marbling. You're just kind of pressing what's in place and stretching, expanding, and then shrinking it. So it's not going to mix it and make it all one uniform color. A little flat ridge. And they sell tools to help you work clay and make it look super legit, but I find my fingernails work just fine for the faux rock stuff. If you're sculpting or something, sure, you might want to invest in some tools, but you know, if you're just doing it with your fingers, there's not really any need for them. You can make it look like a rock with just your fingers, for sure. There's not any real advantage to using special tools. I wouldn't put any sharp corners on it down at the bottom either. Kind of press your thumb against that and then make this like a valley that the rock kind of did. We can bring it in more. So that's the back, that's the front still. I think that looks like a legitimate heart. Kind of smooth up here. Maybe I'll make that even a little bit more. There we go. A little bit more uneven. Bring it up to a corner right here. Yeah. So this is our heart rock shape. And now we're gonna get carving our heart into it. So the very fancy tool that I'm using to carve my heart into my heart rock is a toothpick. And I'm gonna do it up here, and I'm basically just gonna make 3 holes. This by far is so much easier than actually carving a rock, like a real rock. I don't even have tools for that, and I would probably hurt myself. But punching a hole through clay with a toothpick, definitely not that difficult. I'm just gonna stamp out a little heart shape like that. And we're gonna flip it over. And no, we're not, because we can't see what we did yet. Poke it through a little bit, drag it down. Poke it through a little bit, drag it down. There we go, we can kind of see that. There we go. It's getting there. It's okay if you kind of smush your rock a little bit at this point. You can always reshape it. Still heart-shaped. Still very much a rock shape. I think we're doing pretty well. Just gonna kind of get that rock carved out heart look to it. Nice and flat. Rub off the extra. So the idea of the toothpick is that it's nice and round, and if you're using a drill to go through rocks, you're gonna have a nice round edge to it anyway. So we'll do that. We'll kind of poke it a little bit, smush it in, and we have a heart sitting inside of a heart. That's perfect. We're gonna leave that for a second and grab our findings kit. Just one of these. Go ahead and grab one of these sticks at the bottom and push it out. And since I want this to be the top and this to be the bottom, just grab the side that's got the flat part, poke it right through the bottom. I'm gonna try to not go through the heart hole that I made. So we go straight up through the top. Come on. There we go, I can feel that coming out. There's a fair amount of lint in this one, and it does actually impede, yeah, see that? It took a huge chunk of lint with it. It does actually impede sometimes the stick going through there. So basically it just poked that lint out, and the hole's bigger than I wanted it to be, but that's fine. It's clay. It's one of the benefits of working with clay. So it's moldable. Even when you think you're done, if you mess it up, you can just go back in, clean up your lines, clean up your edges. Definitely not a big deal, definitely not a deal breaker. Pull that in so that it's nice and flat and hidden. And back side, we'll clean up that heart again. Here we go. And that is ready to be baked in the oven according to the package directions. So just kind of look on that. 230 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Okay, here we go. Fresh from the oven, our heart pendant. It looks really cool. It kind of looks like lava rock with a little bit of red in there. You can see the heart through the back. The whole thing is vaguely shaped like a heart, which is kind of cool, but it also definitely looks like a real rock. It's not, you know, like a perfect heart shape. I think having the flat side on top there really helps, and the not so sharp bottom. But yeah, let's get the string up on a necklace and see how it looks. Okay guys, so here's how it turned out. Here is our faux rock heart. I'm going to turn it hopefully there. Yes, so you can see through to the wall behind the part where it looks like we took a drill to a rock and cut out a little heart inside of it. The overall shape of our rock I'm really pleased with. Adding the corners and then smushing out the point at the bottom make it look more like a true rock you would find in nature rather than something that you made out of clay. It is red, I definitely wanted to do that, but it's got the black in there, and it does look almost like a natural rock. It's got some variances from the sides as far as the shape and texture, and I think overall it looks really great. Because it's made out of clay, it's really lightweight and it's gonna be easy to wear. But we're not done yet, so basically we need to make this into a pendant. It's on the stick. Stick's too big, so we're going to take our Leatherman, bend it over. About right there is a good size, so we're going to clip it. There we go. Just watch where you put this because it's pokey. And then make ourselves a lovely little loop, just like that. So now it is a pendant that we can put on a chain, which I'm gonna do next. I have a little chain right here. So let's just open that up and string it on. This honestly is harder than threading a needle for me because the threads don't tend to move when I'm threading a needle, but the chain always moves on me. And oh, I think I got it. Look at that, look at that, I did. We get past the thick part of the chain, onto the thin part of the chain, and of course I tied a knot in it. 1 second, technical difficulties. Come on. every time. I was super impressed with myself for not dropping something this video, and then I went and tied my chain in a knot. There we go. We're going to put this on because what's a necklace if you're not wearing it? There we go. So it sits just like that. I'm glad actually it sits high because it's a darker stone. I'm not sure against a black shirt it would pop. Maybe I should have worn a lighter shirt, but I do really like that. I think that turned out super well. You could wear it backwards if you want. It's still a heart and a heart, so there's really no right or wrong way to wear this. If it spins around during the day, that's why we took care to make the backside look just as good as the front. And anyway, you guys, this is it. This is the craft. It's pretty easy to make some rock jewelry that looks realistic and actually doesn't take that long to make. Hope you guys liked the video and the craft. If you did, let me know by hitting that thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Hope to see you here again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.